So how is it going, everyone? Welcome to the League of Europe. We're here for Division 3 at the Italian Grand Prix this weekend. Um, Before we get into qualifying, we're just going to take you around a hot lap for Monza. It was done by Rick, who is in D1. I believe his time was a 1 minute 18.5. Getting the lap started now, going down the long straight leading up towards turn 1. You want to brake sort of around the 150 mark, just maybe after it. Shifting down into second gear, tight and twisty turn 1 and turn 2. So I know people can get a bit caught off with it, so it's a bit difficult, but once you get it right and you nail it, then it just makes it your life a lot easier to be able to take that corner. Going around Curva Grande now, turn 3, now coming up towards turn 4 and 5, probably a tricky chicane, I'd say, compared to Ascari. Now going through Lesmo 1, Rick shifting down into 4th gear, taking that nice, making an exit as well, making that as wide as he possibly can. Through Lesmo 2 now as well, down into 4th gear, opening up the DRS for the first DRS straight out of the 2, second one obviously being on the start-finish straight, now leading up towards Ascari, breaking down into 4th, shifting up early into 5th gear, avoiding the inside curb as much as possible on the final part of Ascari, now leading down the long back straight before Parabolica, making sure you want to brake out around the sort of 50-meter board, down into 5th gear, making up the amount of curb around Parabolica, coming up to the line, and as I said, it was about a 1 minute 18.583 I think the lap was, so it was a good lap from Rick nonetheless. Now, I believe qualifying is starting now, so we will hop on board with that, and I am also joined by RJW.
Hello.
So we've also got a couple of people already out on their lap, or well, on an out lap. Probably optimal strategy for this track would be the soft to medium. I know that they can work quite well. Obviously, if you do end up getting wing damage, probably on like the first or second lap, then soft to hard, because I know the hards can then go sort of towards the end of the race. But currently on board with Big W as he is doing his out lap. In fact, I wonder if there's anyone that's a bit further along, maybe. I think Smitsky's ahead of him. Is Mr. Wooter ahead of him? No, so Smitsky's probably the first one that's going to be starting his lap. So we'll keep on board with the Renault driver. As for the standings so far, let me just get them up for you. Here we go, Division 3, we have the Haas of James, who is actually out on his out lap. He is currently on first with 91 points. Then we have MCR, who is in second, who actually isn't racing today, so this is a good opportunity for guys below MCR and also James to build his championship lead. He is on 86 points in second. Heated is in third with 77 points, so good going for the Toro Rosso driver. Adri is in fourth with 64 points. Ivory Mike in fifth with 50. Nico is in sixth with 42. Mr. Wooter in seventh with 34 points after getting a very good second place out in Spain last weekend. In 8th is Big W, who actually only moved down D3 and has already just done 2 races and is in P8, so good going from the Aussie. Smitsky is down in 9th, the other Renault, so good job from him. And in 10th is Eduk on 27 points. Sorry, forgot to mention that Smitsky is on 30 points. And as for the driver's standings, just trying to have a check now. Who is what in the driver? Here we go. Drivers, constructors. Haas are still quite a bit out in the lead. They are on 115 points, but they are being closed in by Renault. Renault are now on 94 points. They've actually taken the second spot from the Red Bulls. So Renault on 94 with Red Bull on 92. And it's actually tied up with Toro Rosso. So both of those are on 92 points. So be very interesting, because both being Red Bull teams, who will come out on top with the Toro Rosso and the Red Bull. McLaren are in 5th, currently with 57 points. Mercedes in 6th with 34. Ferrari in 7th with 28. The Racing Points are in 8th with 26 points. Alfa Romeo in 9th with 14. And Williams down the bottom with 9
Oof.
points.
I'm an everywhere. Right. That should be done. Right, I just checked the stream. The title was a bit wrong, but I should have changed it, so it's fine.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
There we go. Yeah, it came up as round 6 at Spain. I don't know why.
Ah.
But anyway, I changed it, so it's fine.
Cool.
99. Okay. Interesting. There's some quick times actually.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why this isn't doing anything. Apologies about this, because there's one that's also had a stream that was supposed to go up now, and we've got one that's currently going. This is a weird one. Very weird one. But as you guys can see on screen as well, we've also got a couple that have already done their laps. You've got the likes of Sendo, who's already done a 19.9, who is actually a reserve in place of one of the Ferraris. Who's in the Ferrari? It's LFC, so he's replacing LFC for this week. Who else we've got? In fact, I think that is everyone. I think we're just missing 2 other drivers who haven't been able to make it today. One being MCR, and reserve hasn't managed to sort of fit his place. Who's the other one? Ghost Recon.
Oh, Ghost. Yeah.
So, be interesting to see who is going to come out on top. We've got Educk, who's done a 20.1. In fact, let me have a look at what tyres these lads are on. Because Wakursk has just come around the final corner and is going straight into the pits. In fact, a lot of these guys are already going into the pits. So let's see, what tyres have these guys done on? So Adri's actually done a 20.7 on the mediums. Excuse me, who's like sort of in the mix with Heated, Smitsky, even Iberbrim Mike as well. So Adri is definitely one to look out for. Frey's also done his time on the mediums, so that's a good time for Frey. 21.1 on the mediums. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Same with
Pretty
Big
good
W.
going, yeah. Yeah, these I saw in the chat actually. The top guys around here in Div 3 are crap. It's one of these. Monza's just one of those tracks where it kind of neutralises the division. You can't tell as much. There's a lot less. But it's more about traction and to be fair, everyone kind of gets good decent traction. So it's kind of a leveler, this track.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. So we'll see who comes out on top of what come towards the end of qualifying. We have got 11 minutes to go in quali so far. And in case you guys haven't been able to tell as well, enjoy the new layout designed by none other than the man that is currently in 18th place, Car Cannon. So a big thank you to him for the new little graphic at the top left. As we are on board with Big W, who I think is coming into the pits this lap, if I'm not mistaken. He's running in high at the moment, so I don't know whether he's actually going to be carrying on with the lap or going into the pits. But we've also got the racing point of Aledi, who's just up ahead of him. Hasn't set a time yet. Done 2 laps on the hards, and I'm wondering if this is going to be the lap he is going to set a time as he comes across the line. He does a 21.5 on the hards.
Ooh.
That's actually that's a very good time on the hards. That is a very good time on the hards. So Aledi is definitely one to watch out for this race. I mean, he's gone on the hards, but whether he'll qualify on the mediums, whether it will qualify on the softs, as I said, it's quite easy to do a one-stop with a softer medium.
Oh, Nico. Sorry, Nico came through the second chicane, took a massive chunk of curb, and somehow stays in the right direction. Yeah, I don't know how you saved that, but that was destined for the wall.
It was good going from him to at least keep it out of the wall. Meanwhile, on board with the other racing point is Educk, as he is coming through Lesmo 1 as we speak. James has just managed to rejoin the session, so it's good that he's back in. Now Educk coming through Lesmo 2. Let's see, is he improving on his lap time as he comes up towards the end of Sector 2? He is up on his time, so he's a 10th up on his time. So we'll see if he does improve up on his time. Goes a bit wide going through the back of Ascari. A few of these guys just letting him through. James has left the session once again. I don't know if anyone in the stream is going to be able to get him back in ASAP. But as Eduk is coming across the line, he proves his time and does a 1 minute 19.8. A good showing from the Racing Point driver. A lot of these guys now also out on their laps on the soft compounder tyres, so we'll see who's going to be the ones that will improve on their time. Sendo, who was our pole sitter just a minute ago before Eduk has overtaken him, is now just started his lap as well. Heated is going through Lesmo 2 now. We'll keep an eye on the Toro Rosso because, as I said, he's third in the championship at the moment, and we'll see if he does improve up on his time. Quickest he's done so far is a 20.6 on the softs, and he's actually 8 tenths down on his time, and it must have invalidated somewhere, so Heated has backed off from his time. Is there anyone that you want to go on board with, Ross?
Well, Adri's just started a lap. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the people are around the track. So.
Fair enough. I think Ryan B's just behind him, starting his lap, or finished his lap. Adri, I don't know if he's actually starting his lap. I think he has started a new lap because he's 2 tenths off on his time. And Mr. Wuta has only gone 0.02 of a second slower than Eduk. And I think someone else just improved as well. Who was that? I think it was Jasper, I think just improved.
Yep. Sendo across the line onto Penal Bowl by 900. So it's going to be close, this one. But
it is looking very tight.
Around Monza, that's actually a decent gap. So
certainly is. It is looking very tight.
Though, so.
It is, yeah. Who can get the best run down in towards turn 1? Some say that it's probably best to start towards like the back end of the grid.
Possible.
So who knows? But as Adri is coming around Parabolica, coming up towards the line, is he going to be better than what Sendo has done? He is. He does a 19.3. Oh. Wow.
Okay.
What a time from the Spaniard.
He's turned up this week.
He certainly has. And with James keep on lagging out, if he doesn't set himself a time, that is going to heavily damper on his championship hopes, especially considering that MCR isn't here and that Heated is currently in 7th at the moment. I mean, with Adri, if Adri ends up winning the race, where does that put him? Gains an extra 25 points. Puts him on 89 points, so that will put him ahead of MCR.
Wow. Okay.
And if Heated does finish 7th, it'll put him ahead of Heated as well. So Adri could jump up to 2nd. Yeah. Could jump up into 2nd.
Pretty interesting because Adri's form's not been the best, but if he gets up to 2nd, this is his chance. This is his chance to really turn things around, I guess, because all his rivals kind of either aren't here, struggling to get in the lobby, struggling in general. If he can get P1 and hold on to it, it's massive for him.
Yeah, without doubt. It would be absolutely massive for his championship hopes. Again, if James isn't able to get like a lap done or anything, because he's still in the pits, I think he is back in the session, but I don't know how long he's going to last back in this session. Hopefully he will sort of stay. So at least we have a decent fight between Adri and James.
James is out. James is out of the out onto the track. So as long as he doesn't lag out, we should be getting a lap from the championship leader.
Nicely done. James does look like he's been having internet issues. We have told him quite a few times that he needs to fix his internet issues. So whether he does manage to sort it out, he has had a formal warning from the organisers and from the steward.
Find out if he uses the LAN cable or not.
We never know. Adri's just said in the chat that lap came out of absolutely nowhere. So It'd probably be quicker than the majority of the G2 guys.
Yeah, he's nearly half a temp clear of what I can do. So he's smashed that one out of the park. And if that gets beaten, whoever can beat that, just
may as well move it themselves into
hats off
D2 now.
Yeah.
Because that was an impressive time. Right, we are going to stick on board with the championship leader of James to see if he can beat Adri's time as he now starts his lap for Monza. It will probably be his only lap that he'll be able to do. Maybe he can be able to get one more done. I don't know if you want to take us through this lap.
Oh, I normally do corner names. This is going to be a problem. I don't know the corner names. Yes, right. He's exited turn 2 down into Curva Grande, where it has some cool fancy of a name, but I don't know. Turn 3, if you want to be that person. And to the second chicane. Hard braking at the Variante something. Redfield? I don't know. I give up. Corners. Lesmo 1 negotiated that pretty well in 5th gear and down into 4th for Lesmo 2 as he now gets on the DRS down the straight down towards, well, down under the old track, the oval banking, down towards Ascari where there is a significant lack of braking markers. Through Ascari pretty nicely, no curb there, didn't want to risk that, he just wanted to get time on the board as he comes down the back straight now towards Parabolica corner, named so because of the shape of it. Cheeky little maths term there, but as he crosses the line, James sets a 19.8, puts him up to provisional 3rd, and I think that might be his lot unless he tries to save the ERS and go for another run. But I think that's good enough for James to probably still get top 10s.
Yeah.
At least he's got a lap.
Yeah, exactly, and it does look like he's a bit low on fuel as well. It's showing it on his telemetry, so I think that's all she wrote for James's qualifying. Best he's going to be so far is P3. As you said, provisional P3 for now. But we'll have to see the likes of Eduk, the likes of Mr. Wood, so even other than Mike and Nico, if they can beat it, because they're also fighting in their places for the championship. So we'll see if one of these will be able to be beaten, and who knows.
Well, at least they're going to get their final runs in. They should do anyway.
They should be able to get
They're far enough apart. Yeah.
I said Sendo was on a lap, but he's actually not on a lap.
Adri's left it very late. He's at the exit of turn 2. It's going to be interesting whether he gets round in time, but I don't see anyone breaking that gap, and Sendo's into the pit, so that is his qualifying over. E2 for him at the most. James is still going. I think he's gone. I think James might have gone for a cool down lap, and he might go for another push now.
Potential.
That's a look. No, he's staying in 0 so that is James is qualifying over as well.
I think he's run out of fuel. Adri is looking to be the one, the last one who's going to cross the line, but maybe also Eleni. Eleni is only just up ahead of Adri. He's done 3 laps on that medium, so I'm looking for Eleni to come into the pits. Let's stick on board with the Spaniard, Renault, getting ready to maybe even try and improve on his lap time, just giving a little bit of space. He actually has an Alfa Romeo behind him. I think that is Big W. Here we go, Adri. About to be starting his lap. In fact, I'm going to go on board with Big W because I think that is him that is just behind. It isn't, it's Jasper. Jasper is going to be the last one that will be setting a lap time. So, we'll keep an eye out on that. But as you can see, Sendo, James, Iverbryn, Mike even didn't make it across the line. Ryan B, Aledi, Ibo, Wakursk, and Dave have all finished their qualifying. So let's see who's going to be the first one.
Jasper's done. He's lost the back end on the exit of turn 2.
Oh, not good for the Alfa Romeo driver at all. Here we go. Frey is going to be looking like the first one to cross the line. He's going to come up to the line. Is he going to improve from his 20.4? No, he does not. I saw a McLaren in the background as well. Car Cannon just dips into the pits and doesn't set himself a lap time. So unfortunate for him. Big W is coming around Parabolica now, and having Heated just behind him, these two surely will be improving upon their time. Where will it put them? Big W only goes 9th. What about heated? 10th. Only 1,000th apart from each other. It's all down to Mr.
Ow.
Wooter to see if he can beat Adri's time. He comes across the line. He doesn't improve it. So Adri is going to be your pole sitter. And is he going to improve on his time? He is a 10th up on his time. Is he going to get himself into the 18s? He doesn't, but he improves on his time doing a
Get in there.
19.2. Wow.
Wow. That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
What a time from the Renault Spaniard. Oh, wow. I've got no words. I've got no words. That was an impressive time.
If anyone in Div 2 beats that, I don't know what's going on.
Impressive time.
Okay.
So, there's your pole sitter on a 19.2. It is the Renault man of Adrilock Dot. Congrats to him. Mr. Wooter in second, with Sendo in third, James in fourth, Educk fifth, Ivan Mike sixth, Nico in seventh, Ryan B in eighth, Big W ninth, Heated 10th, Smitsky in 11th, Frey in 12th, Aledi 13th, Jasper qualified in 14th, Ivo 15th, Wilkerski in 16th, Dave and Car Cannon were the only two that did not manage to set their laps, and the starting in 17th and 18th.
With Ghost in 19th.
Oh, and Ghost
is
in
just-
19th, yes.
Yes.
Actually, just saying in the chat as well that his best that he's ever done is a 19.6. He's absolutely smashed it out of the water. So good going for the Renault Spaniard driver, as I have still not loaded in yet, which is quite weird.
Yep, me neither. I don't know what's going on.
Is that because of Ghost
How long
joining,
time?
maybe?
Oh, please.
I hope he hasn't glitched
Please
the lobby
no.
out.
Oh.
Quickly ask it in the D3 chat, and also in the stream. Is any of the D3 guys? Has it loaded for you? Still looking at a black screen.
Ibo just
Ibo's
said
on the formation lap.
formation.
So it's glitched for us.
Great.
Lovely. That's good.
Fantastic.
So we've been glitched out. If one of the guys in D3 can invite us back in, it would be hugely appreciated.
I just want to check. Yeah, no, they are on Formation Lab. I've just checked someone's stream. They're on the DRS stream. What? Okay, great.
Yeah, apparently Mark's in a party with Iver and Mac as well, so they are on the formation lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're glitched in the lobby. If someone in D3 could invite us ASAP whilst they're on a formation lap, that would be much appreciated.
Oh, I got an invite. There we go.
You got one,
Ibo,
yeah?
legend. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart the game though.
Okay. And quickly restart my game as well. Smitsky has just left the session. I think Smitsky might have also had a bit of a issue with it as well. Oh no, never mind, it kicked him out.
Wow.
Bit of an odd one. Loving that the game is still esports ready.
You had an invite, by the way.
Yeah, please. I'm gonna real quick.
You haven't
Oh,
one.
Ibo has just invited me.
Okay.
Sorry, let me get
I
my
need
game
they're on
restarted real
lap
quick.
2 for me. What?
Huh?
I loaded into the lobby and it said lap 2. I'm going to try and commentate the start as I watch it with Ivor now. I'm a bit delayed, but Ivor's got a good start anyway. James is lagging about. Oh, he just disappeared and reappeared. And Mr. Woot has been punted. Oh, this is the weirdest commentary I've ever done. At the moment, Adri is off. Mr. Wooter is P1. Oh, here we go. Sendo versus Wooter versus Eduk versus Ivor versus Big W. There's about... It's like qualifying in Monza. Today, there's front wing gone from Jasper. He hit the back of Ryan and spins around at the second chicane. Sorry you guys can't see any of this, but I'm doing a radio version at this point. James is down in P10. James has lagged out the session.
Oh dear.
Adri is now 18th. So, yeah. Interesting start to that race.
I'm just watching it from Mike's point of view. Big W looking like he's wanting to try and go around the outside of him in a Scari. Mike managing to hold the position. And we should be back in right about now. And I've got no HUD and no sound. That's a good start. Oh, there we go. Right, we're back. Apologies about that little delay for the start of the race. Obviously, lap 1 is already done. A lot of these guys, I think, already missing front wing, which is a good sign. But we've got 3 people trying to battle now for P8 with Kursk, Frey, and Nico. Nico looking like he's a bit boxed in between these two, but still managing to keep it clean nonetheless. Frey looking to see if he can go around the outside of Wikursk and not able to do so. So Wikursk maintaining P8, and Carl Cannon's actually moved himself up into 11th. So
wow.
Good going from the McLaren driver. He's actually going side by side with Aledi. Aledi actually managed to make a move around the outside of Curva Grande. So that was a good move from the Racing Point driver as Carl Cannon goes a little bit wide going through the second chicane. And Ibo is now up into 14th. Smitsky's car is still a ghost, and it's not looking like it's going to be good points for Renault.
Well, the big gainer off the start was Kursk. He's up 8 positions so far into 8th place. Not far away from Heated and Ivor, which is quite a big battle going on so far. As Ivor has some front wing damage. Actually, Kursk has got past Heated, so he's up 9 positions now. Big losers off the start. James lost 9, and Adri in that gravel at turn 2 has lost 16 positions. So not good for Adri at all.
As Ivor does make himself into the pits. I wonder if he's going to try and take the hards to the end of the race. I did say that you would be able to. It's a tricky one, but you definitely can do it. So just watching on board with Ivor's stream, he does put the hard tyres on. So we'll see how he comes out and how he fares towards the end, or towards the middle and the end of the race when all these guys do make their pit stops. We're still on board for this battle for P6 between Wikursk, Heated and Frey. Funny enough, the 2 Toro Rosso drivers, I think just keeping in formation for now. The Heated is all over the back of Wikursk. As Adri is making his way back up through the field now. It does get past the ghost cars of Smitsky and James, but is on the back of Ivo. It says yellows in sector 1. Is that Mike? It doesn't look like it is Carl Cannon, I think, because he's dropped back massively from Jasper. It's going very slowly, and I think Mike wanted to try and get past.
I think it was, yeah.
There you go, Smitsky is back in the session, and hopefully back in his car relatively soon as Adri moves up to P12, getting past Ibo now in the points positions.
Well, Adri's back up to P12 already. James isn't in the session, and MCR's not here. So at the moment, the biggest gainer at the lot is Heated, and he's only 7th. So this is a chance for one of Adri or Heated to get some massive points, because James is just dropping back down the field with his ghost car. So, and yeah, big points at stake. And Smitsky is back in his car, so that's good to see.
He's back, right, that's good. So at least he's back into Tell the tale of him maybe getting some, maybe getting a points finish. He does go past James's ghost car. Ibo has actually come out of the pits behind Iverbrun Mike on the hards. He's only just come. Well, I say only just come up behind him. Oh! Wakursk, Heated and Frey.
Oh.
I think Heated spun Wakursk. Let me have a look back on the stream. Yeah. Wow.
This is gonna get. Oh, this is gonna be massive for Adri actually. Adri right up behind these guys now, and I think one of the Toro Rossos definitely has front wing damage. I think it's Heated.
Yeah, Heated
Yes,
is the one with
Heated
damage.
does have front wing damage. I think Frey might have got away. I'm not sure, but Adri's now got a massive. No, Frey's got damage as well. So both of them with front right end plate damage. So big opportunity for Adri to pick up the points that he needs to try and salvage his championship. We're talking about salvaging a championship. We're on round 7. So, but as
the two Toro Rosso staying in formation.
Adri is going to get the 1. James has rejoined the session, so.
Oh, Frey is not giving. No, Heated is not giving up that position. Still side by side with Adri, going up towards Curva Grande. Wakursk gets a 5-second stop go for speed in the pits, and Heated just doesn't look like he wants to leave in the room, but he's staying on the outside of Adri, going through turn 3, aka Curva Grande, coming up towards the chicane. Heated still trying to hold down the inside of the Renault driver, hits his teammate, loses even more wing, and let's give him Frey a 3-second time penalty here. Surely he will get that one removed, but that promotes Adri up into 9th. Heated is not having a good race, and all of this is benefiting Adri, and not only that, but it is also benefiting James, because that means even though he's down in 13th, his title lead is not being affected whatsoever. Adri only picking himself up, what is that, 4 points so far?
Yeah.
Heated only picking himself up another 3 points, so even that is also helping MCR. If Adri wants to have this chance of being in this championship, he goes side by side with Frey, and Frey gives him a little bit of a tap for some unknown reason. And so Adri now up into 8th position. He does need to make himself back up.
Mitsuki spun out of Ascari. It's allowed James back through, who is back in the session. So James into the points. Oh, James has left the session instantly as I say that.
And Car Cannon has also just spun it at Lesmo 2.
Let me have a look at this. Ivor is out, and I think it's the exit of Ascari. Yes, it is. His Red Bull is stricken on the left-hand side. Wow. First victim of Ascari today.
Let's see if there is many more to come as Heated makes his way into the pits. Smitsky has also made his way into the pits. Big W is all up the back of Mr. Wuta. As he actually lost his lead. I didn't realise that. He managed to get past the Mercedes driver.
Mr. Wuta dropped down to 3rd. I don't know why, but he's now trying to make his way back through, and he's got back past the big W. So he's looking good to get back. James rejoins the session for about the 15th time. I don't know.
Probably. That's probably why the lobby is also glitched. The amount of times it's been like sort of been leaving and joining hasn't helped the session at all, to be honest. Heated has managed to get back past Ibo. I think they're both side by side going in towards turn 1 and turn 2, but I think Ibo just sort of gave it up and just allowed him to sort of stay up ahead. Frey is actually staying on the back of Adri.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is really interesting. The slipstream must be really, like, he must be not losing that much time in the corner. Adri just must be having a shock through the corners, because Frey is sticking right with him, able to slipstream in down the straight, right up behind him. The man we haven't talked about much in this race, actually, the man behind Frey, Nico, not having the best of races. I don't know where he is in the championship, but he's lost 2 positions in this race, and it's not going great.
Yeah, he's currently in 6th in the championship. I think just in front of him is who's it? I think it might be. No,
Car Cannon in the wall.
Is that
and he has avoided.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same place as Ivor. Oh, Mr. Wooten nearly lost it as well as he went through, and he's under attack from Big W now. Wow. James is back in. Car Cannon. Big W has managed to get back past Mr. Wuta, because Mr. Wuta lost the back end out of Ascari. Just managed to save it, but has lost the position because of that. But with DRS, they're all in DRS now. Actually, they're both in DRS. So now Big W's got a chance to reel in Eduk.
He does look like he's gaining on Eduk rapidly as well, going through, going up towards turn 1. I know it is a long DRS straight, but he did look like he was catching up to him insanely quick. As Frey is still staying with Adri as Karkanen does retire from the session. But Frey is right on the back of Adri, and there's an even closer one. Big W all up the back of Eduk going through Lesmo 1. I don't think it's going to get a move done, but going maybe under the bridge of the old circuit. Will Big W get a move done leading up to Ascari? DRS is open, and I don't think he is close enough to get a move done. So he's just going to have to stay behind Eduk as of now.
I don't know how he's doing it, but Frey's still behind Adri, right behind him, slipstreaming him down to Ascari. He's not going to be close enough, but you know what? Could be close enough out of Parabolica to maybe get a crack down the pit straight. If he can nail Ascari, which he's done pretty well through there, Frey, with a broken front wing, could be getting past the man who got pole by 4.5 seconds. So, this is interesting once Adri goes wide into Parabolica. Yeah, Frey's got a real chance down the straight now to open the DRS and have a crack at Adri. Although Adri is very far ahead, his straight line speed is very good by the looks of it.
Yeah, Adri does tend to have like a really good straight line speed of a car. Not too sure why, but that is normally the case with the Spaniard. There's yellows in sector 3. Now, who might that be?
Oh, it's heated.
It's heated.
It's heated.
So this is really benefiting
Ascari
James.
again. Yeah, well, actually, no, saying that, James isn't in the session.
Yeah.
It's benefiting him, but he can't gain from it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So with James not being in the session, that actually does promote Ibo into points. As Smitsky has gotten past Heated, Heated's front wing is completely gone. And Heated makes himself into the pits, gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I won't be surprised if he does end up retiring, because I don't think that's exactly ideal for the Toro Rosso driver. Meanwhile, we'll go back up towards the front of the grid as Big W is now closer than ever. Mr. Wooter makes himself into the pits and gets a penalty for speeding in the pits as well. So, not ideal for the Mercedes driver. It's going to be tough for him to try and claw this one back and end up winning this race. Not able to get a move done. Meanwhile, we have got Aledi, who I think has actually just gotten past Ryan B, going down the DRS straight up towards turn 1. He has, so the 2 racing points are actually having a really good race. Saying that, Aledi gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Classic commentator's curse.
This is an interesting one. Heated, who was battling Adri, is now a lap behind Adri. About 4 laps after they were battling, so it shows how quickly a race can be ruined around Monza.
Exactly. There's so many times where it could just be lethal.
Yeah. That is the curb or the other driver.
Sorry about this, but Big W has managed to go around the outside of Eduk, going in towards Ascari, and Big W is now your race leader, but Eduk does not look like he is giving this place up. He is still staying just behind Big W, has got the slipstream on the Alfa Romeo driver, and is actually looking a lot quicker in the straight, now going side by side with each other in towards Parabolica. Big W takes a much wider line, and Eduk goes down the inside and gets the move done. In fact, they both make their way in the pit, so that has benefited Eduk massively. And none of them actually got themselves a 5-second stop go either.
I thought he was going to go. He locked up, and I thought he was getting that penalty, but just managed to avoid it. And the good thing for him, his pit garage is for the Alphas. Now, what tyres have they put on? It's changing between mediums and softs, so I'm assuming it's mediums.
Yes.
But on my screen, it is changing between mediums and softs. So.
Yeah, so it is the mediums.
As they come out. Oh, side by side with Mr. Wooter, actually. Mr. Wooter up the inside at turn 2. Not well, he's kind of forced into that position, but Edux stays ahead. Big
And
W now on
side
the
by side with
inside.
him. Is he going to
This
get
is going to
the
be
move?
close.
They're still side by side, kind of, but Mr. Wu has backed down, and that is him down into third. So even with the undercut, he has not actually helped himself.
Oh, here we go. Big traction from Big W up the inside of Eduk. Is Eduk going to fight it? No, he backs out of that one. Can't fight that one, and Big W now has provisional lead of this race.
It is a good going for the reserve driver, you know. It is not easy being a reserve driver, I can definitely say from experience. So with him managing to do this in Monza, provisional lead of the race so far, will he be able to maintain it?
Wide at Ascari. Mr. Woot is going to have a crack at Eduk now because Eduk's gone a bit too wide at Ascari, or a bit too narrow, sorry, into the entry of Ascari. And now Mercedes is all over him as they come onto the main straight. And Adri does pit. He will come out probably behind Sendo, I would think, as Mr. Wooter up the inside of Eduk into turn 1. He's not going to go for that.
Oh, big touch! Big touch! Eduk and Big W! Mr. Wooter's managed to get himself up into third, which is now the provisional race lead.
I didn't see any front wing damage, but Eduk has had to let BW go through, no surprise. But no front wing damage from what I saw on the car. So, as long as they can keep within the DRS of Mr. Wooter, they should be able to get back into this one, but it's going to be interesting to see. Adri has come out behind Ryan, actually. He is still 8th place. Everyone in front of him except from Dave and Aledi has pitted. So
this is actually looking like a really good result for the Ferraris as well. If these guys keep on battling just
yeah.
Sendo and even Ryan B, they can probably bag themselves a podium. Yellows.
I think that's Ibo.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Exit at turn 2. On the hard compound tyres, just I think he was in the gravel by the looks of it. By the looks of the tyres, he looked like he was in the gravel, so went deep.
It is unfortunate for Ibo. He did look like he was on for a good point. Says Dave makes his way in them pits. Where he's actually going to come out in relation to Adri, because I think these two were quite close to each other on track. So we'll see where they both come out.
Was Dave on? Dave was on the mediums.
So he's getting opposite the guy on a hards.
That's a weird one. That is. He's going to come up behind Adri.
Yeah.
Whether he comes up behind Nico. It's going to be tight between him and Nico. I think Nico's going to come out ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. So Dave still inside the points, but on the hard compound tyres, so it's going to be difficult for him to actually make any progress. But I don't know. Sponsor. As James rejoins the session for the 1 billionth time.
Yep. Making his way back in. Somehow.
Oh, and the lobby's crashed.
How many? I don't know how many invites he's managed to gain from this.
Probably about 1,000, because people. But Ibo's probably spamming him.
Probably.
As Eduk picks up a penalty, that could be massive.
That is massive for Big W, actually. That is massive for Big W, because Mr. Wooter has that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane,
but
and Eduk has that 3-second time penalty.
But Big W has 6 seconds.
Does he? Sendo could win the race.
I'm checking penalties right now. Mr. Wooter on 2 warnings, and with that 5-second penalty from Big W on 2 penalties, and Eduk for 1. Sendo, he's also on the 1. Ryan's got a 5-second penalty. Eddie has 1 penalty. Adri has no penalty.
So, there is still the opportunity for the Spaniard to win this race. Imagine that.
Imagine the scenes. Scenes if he wins. Actually, is a lady just pit and come out in 7th place? But like Dave, he's also on the hard compound tyres. I don't know why people are choosing these hard compound tyres for a 14 lap stint. They've done 13 on the medium, so I don't know. I reckon people could have gone a lot longer.
If they would have taken those mediums maybe like an extra 2 laps, they could have easily gone on the softs and taken them to the end of the race.
Yeah. Anyway, we're about halfway through this race now. I'm not getting bored because there's too much to go on. As there's still this three-way battle for the lead. Whether Big W is going to be close enough with the DRS is going to be an interesting question. As Mr. Wouter is being reeled in now, but I don't think he's being reeled in quickly enough for the Alpha to go down the inside at turn 1, and they keep formation for now. Adri not really gaining on the Ferraris, as there are green flags out. Why are there green flags?
No idea. It must be one of those like glitches where you just got that green flag around the whole track.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems to be right now anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sendo took his second penalty of the race.
So this is benefiting Adri massively, and even Ryan B as well. Ryan B could be winning his first race. There's always that potential. He is 6 seconds behind his teammate as Big W, and Mr. Wouter going into battle now, going up towards Ascari. Mr. Wouter holding the inside, moves across to the racing line, and he maintains his first position. But
he's going to be wide. He's going to be slow. Going to be slow out of Ascari. So Big W he's not gaining in a straight line. Mr. Wouter's set up really low wings, but he's going to be so defensive into Parabolica. But Big W's wide. He looks at the inside. So Mr. Wouter might have escaped with one here. This is going to be really close down into turn 1. Who's going to get into the lead of this race? Big W is really close compared to the last lap. He's got the DRS. He's slipstreaming down to turn 1. Eduk right behind him as well. He's not going to really be able to do anything into turn 1. Big W goes to the outside. Mr. Wouter, he's got to give him the room. He doesn't give him the room. There's a little tap. Big W holds on to second. Eduk's right in there though. He's had to back out. And this is going to be interesting. Big W Mr. Wouter didn't really give him the room. And he's going to have a crack down to the second chicane. What can he do? He's not covered the inside. Big W doesn't go for the move. And after all that battling, nothing's happened.
It was a bit anticlimactic for the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Wouter's gone very
another
wide.
Mistake at Lesmo.
Yeah, massive, very wide going out of Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2.
And then Big W as well made a mistake touching the grass on the inside at Lesmo 2. Eduk did have a run. Big W's he's gonna have to go defensive against Eduk. Eduk trying it round the outside, and he's not going to be able to do that. Big W, he's just very good at getting the exit out of Ascari. He's now got another run on Mr. Wouter as they head down to Parabolica. Not going defensive this time around, but who's going to get the better exit and get a slipstream? But is Big W going to get a better exit? No, he doesn't look like he is. He's not as close as he was last lap.
Exit. I think Big W must have made a mistake coming out on Parabolica because he just improved, or he just got ahead of him by about 4 tenths at that corner.
I think Big W goes really wide on entry, so then when he puts the power down, Eduk, that was very close to, he went very deep into turn 1, and that meant he basically bounced over the curb at turn 2, nearly hitting the side of the Alfa Romeo car, losing some time in the process, but as he didn't get a penalty. I don't know if he got a warning. He didn't get a penalty and he didn't make contact, no damage, so all's been avoided. So we'll just check the warning for that. No, he didn't. So yeah, that's fair. He did lose quite a lot of time from it, so
has been some good driving though between these top 3. You know, all been battling very close, been battling very fair as well. Just noticed as well, Dave and Frey were having a little bit of a scrap for P9. I think Dave got past Frey, but then Frey's managed to take the position back, and has actually already built that 1 second gap out from the Haas driver already. So good job from Frey to maintain that position and not losing out to.
This is
Dave.
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, he has that. He has now.
Dave has just got through, yeah. On those hard compound tyres as well, so I don't know what's happened there. Is they go onto the main straight again, the leaders, and they're all very separated again.
Oh, Big W.
Eduk's managed to close back up into DRS, so.
Yeah. Oh, Dave had a massive slide coming out of Ascari. That's given Frey the opportunity to get the run on the Haas driver. Will he be able to get past him once again? These two, as I said, have been scrapping for quite a bit for the race. Oh, Frey looking to go around the outside, and what a move that
Wow.
was from the Toro Rosso. Up into
He's gonna have
ninth.
the DRS
That
as
was
well,
a
I think.
good move. He has got the DRS as well. So Dave, you've got it all to do with trying to see if you can get past. He has got looks like he's got a lot quicker straight line speed than what Frey has.
He would have had the toe, obviously, at the beginning of the straight, but it doesn't matter because Frey holds on to P9. Good job from Toro Rosso. Zeduk is back out of DRS again. What's happened this time? Lost a lot of time this time around. He'll gain it back, obviously. Oh, he's had a snap through Ascari. That's not going to help him at all. He's losing time hand over fist right now. It's ridiculous how much time he's losing as Heated lets him through.
Can we just also take a minute
losing
as well?
out massively.
Yeah, can we also just take a minute? I don't know if you just saw down the bottom what James's fastest lap was. That was faster than qualifying. He done an 18.4.
James, wait. What?
Is
Wow.
this-
Okay.
Is
What
he
corner
driving his car? He is driving his car.
Is he driving Monza? He is driving his car. He's on the mediums.
I don't know what.
What's happened here then? Let's look at James. Wow.
I honestly don't know if that fastest lap was
Oh,
counted. It's
okay.
because he
Yeah,
seconds
no,
time penalty.
that's a massive corner cut then. I don't know why that hasn't given him a penalty, but his final sector is 5 seconds faster.
5 seconds.
5 seconds faster than anything else he's done. So he's straight line to Ascari for
I was
sure.
about to say.
I mean, you look at his other sectors, right? His first sector on that lap was a 33. No, it wasn't. It was a 26.9. It was his fastest by only 2 tenths. That's fine. Fine. His second sector was his second fastest. His third sector was
Insane
5
fast.
seconds faster. 5 seconds.
Wow.
Now, if he was 5 seconds slower, 23.4, which is yeah, he must have lagged. Is my only feeling. He either cut the corner completely and didn't get a penalty, it's ridiculous, or he lagged.
And it's
But
giving him an extra
yeah,
5
he's
seconds.
actually with this battle in front of him. Sorry to cut in, but he's on the edge of the points. So if even 1 point could be pretty good after the race he's had. As the front three now have completely separated, but a penalty from Mr. Wooter and a big mistake from the Mercedes man has allowed Eduk back into that DRS zone. Yellow's in sector 3, that is Wakursk. James has got past and now 1 position from the points. Jasper from the pits. And this pit crew weren't ready. Oh no, they were. It glitched
But we have
for me, great.
Eduk and Mr. Wooter side by side. Eduk goes around, goes down the inside of Mr. Wooter, coming up towards Ascari, and now Mr. Wooter now down into 3rd position. Eduk now up into 2nd. Eduk has been having a pretty good form of these past couple of races, which I don't know where it's come from because he didn't have a good start towards the beginning of the season, and I feel like he's probably left it a bit too late. As James has made a mistake and is now down. That is the Yellows in sector 1. Where has he lost that?
Yeah. He's gone. He went deep at turn 1. He yeah, just slowed down completely. Went off the through the runoff and lost 2 positions. On the back of that, as Mr. Wooter has got past Eduk down the pit straight. There's more contact between the two, but Mr. Wooter is through into P2 again.
All of this is just benefiting Big W massively. As I said, he got the 3 second time penalties. He's now got what, 6 seconds? Or is that 9 seconds of penalties he's got now?
Good question. He's on 9.
9 seconds.
Mr. Wooter's on 11.
And Eduk's on
Eduk's
6?
On 3.
On 3? So Eduk is still the one that's
Yeah.
actually in the lead of the race at the moment.
He
In fact,
needs-
it could be Sendo.
Yeah, as it stands, he needs to be within 6. Send has 9 seconds. Brian has 8 seconds. Adri
He's actually up the back, coming up to the
still
back
with
of
no
him.
penalties. Adri is now 1 warning away though.
Adri could get
But
himself a
we'll
podium
definitely should jump Ryan, should jump Sendo. I reckon, as it stands, Eduk leads this race, or wins the race, with Big W, Wuta, then Sendo. But it's going to be close between Wuta and Sendo. And then, well, actually, no, Adri could jump Sendo as well. I don't know. It's going to be
Adri could
ridiculously
jump
close
himself
at
in
the end.
a podium position. If he manages to get
Good.
past Ryan.
It just depends. How if he can get past Ryan and then just push on. It depends what he does after that.
We have got 6 laps left of this race as well, so if Adri wants to try and get himself a podium, he needs to get a move on ASAP. It would be a miraculous recovery, especially considering that he went off in turn 2.
Yep.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we still have this battle for P2, and also notice that Frey and Dave both swapped positions.
Yep. Just watching that, sorry.
So Frey's now back up into 9th position, and Mr. Witter and Eduk are both still quite close to each other as they go underneath the old circuit. I don't think Eduk is going to be able to get a move going up into towards Ascari, but you know Mr. Witter is partial to messing up a little bit coming towards the end of Ascari. Looks like he actually took that nicely, but Eduk looks like he's took that a lot better than what the car ahead of him has. And Eduk looks like he has got the straight line speed. Not able to get a move done going in towards Parabolica, but coming up towards turn 1, you've got to think that these positions will switch.
That exit. Mr. Wooter's exits out of Parabolica have been near perfect. But I still think he's going to lose out down the straight. Just the DRS and the slipstream down towards turn 1. Eduk got the straight line speed. Who's going to be ahead? Eduk slightly ahead. I think there might... I don't know if there was contact there, but Eduk, Tokyo drifts his way into P2. Pretty good overtake considering he was sideways. I think there might have just been the smallest amount of contact, but I think he was sliding anyway. Does get the position, and now he needs to hold it, try and pull out get out of the DRS, which he's nearly done already. He's nearly broken DRS to Mr. Wuter already after 1.5 sectors. They come to DRS detection point, which was just before Lesmo 2. He's going to have DRS, but how can he hold on the back of the Racing Point? The Racing Point's got to go on a charge now to close up with Big W. But as it stands, without any further penalties, he wins this race as it stands.
I've just been keeping an eye on the
Sendo's right there now, actually.
Yeah, he is right up behind him
Sendo is right there.
But just been keeping an eye on the gap like between Big W and Eduk. It looks like that gap is growing. Big W looks like he's putting out more and more of a gap than what the Racing Point is actually making
I don't know. I don't know. It's staying around 4.5 as Ryan been pretty comfortable in that P5 for a while. He's now got some defending to do as Adri does have, I think he just has superior grit to the, well, he's only got 1 lap younger tyres, but he's going to breeze past the Ferrari down the outside of the straight. He's getting a little bit of a squeeze there from Ryan. Ryan gets back in the slipstream, looks for it, but he's not going to try and re-overtake him down into turn 1. Adri up into P5, trying to scroll as many points together as he can. As James is down the field in 14th. He needs to get as much as he can. 9.8 seconds behind Sendo. With how many laps to go? 4?
4 laps to go.
3, 4.
How many
and
penalties?
Sendo.
Should we have an update on the penalties? Because I don't know if any of these guys got any more penalties just from a couple
So
of laps.
Big W is 1 warning away from his 4th penalty, so that will put him up. He's on 9 right now, nearly up to 12. Eduk still on that 1 penalty with no extra warnings. Mr. Wuter on 11 seconds so far, still, but no extra warnings on top of that. Sendo at 9 seconds with 1 extra warning. Adri still 1 warning away from his first penalty. Ryan has 8 seconds off with no extra warning.
So Sendo could get the podium position if my maths isn't crap. Sendo could get this podium position, and Adri is only just going to finish behind him. He needs to get in those 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And he's doing a good job of it.
yeah, the big lose is going to be Big W, really. He's going to lose probably at least, well, at least the first place, but he
I
could drop
wouldn't
lower.
say it'd be Big W. I'd say the biggest loser actually out of all of this would be Mr. Wooter. He'd be jumped down probably about 6th position. With the way things stand, maybe even 5th. If
No, Ryan and
Adri
Sendo have got
continues
a
to
lot of
hammer it,
penalties.
yeah, if Adri
And
continues to hammer
Sendo
it,
and Ryan have got a lot, so I reckon he'll only get overtaken by Adri if he gets overtaken.
there you go.
Big W, there we go. He's up to 12 seconds now. The gap from him to Adri is 16. So he's probably not going to reel that in, but he is going to lose some ground. Actually, I think, did I say Sendo has 9 seconds of penalties?
Yeah.
He will drop behind Eduk and Sendo. At the moment, without a bit of time, Mr. Wooter will lose out, will still be behind Big W. But Sendo at the moment promoted to 4th place, unless Adri can overtake him. But the gap's actually extending because Sendo has
just
a massive
absolutely sends
slipstream.
it and gets the
He's
move
got
done on him as well.
switch back.
Oh,
This is going to
bit
be
of contact
interesting.
as
There's a
well.
back
Oh!
marker. He's ghosted.
Oh!
And there's
And there's
contact.
massive
That's Sendo off. Sendo off. Oh.
I don't know
Now-
if there was anything anyone could have done then. I think that was Ivo that had just retired his car as well.
Yeah. There might. If anything's going to happen at that, it will be towards the lap car, because I think you see just before they touch, Sendo darts to the right before the Williams ghosts. He darts to the right, tries to avoid hitting the lap car, ends up hitting the Mercedes and off into the gravel. He's still in P6, but that's just a lot of points down the drain for the Ferrari driver. Promotes Adri into 4th.
Actually,
Gains him
third.
time on Mr. Wooter.
That puts him in
Yeah, well,
third.
4th on track.
Yeah.
4th on track. As Big W, is he on that? He's just started the final lap. So, without anything happening to Eduk on this lap, without like 3 warnings on this lap, Eduk should come home as the winner without any incidents or anything. But we've just seen on the last lap, it can happen at any time. Now, Mr. Wooter, he's got to be careful. If he could lose a position to Adri here.
And in fact,
He does have
Leddy's
the
actually
pole.
just gotten past Sendo going down the DRS straight.
Yeah.
So good going from Aledi. He's
just-
also actually getting himself a decent set of points as well for the racing point. But I'm going to stick on board with Big W as he's coming through Lesmo 1 now. Doesn't look as if anything's sort of going to happen with him at all, unless he does make a massive mistake going out of Ascari. Who knows? It is the last lap. You never know.
I don't think any steward decision will come of that, as Ivo did retire in the pit lane. It did that thing where it decided to come back out.
Oh.
As Nico has half a front wing. I don't know why.
Lovely. So he has driven a bit of a decent race. He's had some good battles with the 2 cars that are behind him. Now coming up and around Parabolica. It is the Aussie man. He has got quite a few penalties. He does cross the line in the first position, but it is the one in the pink flamingo car. Ida does win the Italian Grand Prix, and Big W does stay out ahead of Mr. Wooter. Does Adri claim
Is he close enough?
final podium position? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Okay, that's a good recovery from Adri. I will
And the
give him
lady
that.
jumps up to 5th place as well.
Ow. Where's
Wow.
Frey going to come in? I reckon Frey stays 8th. I don't think he's close enough to Sendo to
I don't think
up
he
his
is.
position.
No.
Yeah, he's too far behind. Nico, Dave, right next to each other across the line, and neither of them swap position. Dave had quite a lot of penalties. Jasper and Smitsky, as well, they're going to come across the line in the points. Whether penalties puts Wakursk or James into the points, I don't know. As I think I actually looked at Wakursk. Wakursk had quite a few. I don't know about Smitsky. As Alfa Romeo of Jasper crosses the line. That is doesn't seem to have many penalties. He's up to well, he stays in P11 though. Smitsky across the line. 12th place. Wakursk.
Stays well ahead of him.
will drop back to the middle of the pit, and James was 13th, so no points for the championship leader this week.
That was definitely a mixed emotions of race. Wow. That's wow. Adri saying even in the chat as well, he had to calibrate his wheel and it didn't end up sort of turning for him. So for him to do that as the recovery drive, finishing third. Wow. What a race from the Spaniard. But it's also down to the Finnish driver of Eduk. What a race from him. And what a race, well, from the top three. From Eduk, from Mr. Wuta, from Big W, even from Sendo as well. You know, Sendo's first race in LOE making his debut, and what a race that was.
Fantastic.
Thank you for the points, Codemasters. I didn't need them. But here is your final classifications. Maybe a couple stewards' inquiries. I don't know. But overall, I think that was a pretty clean race between everybody else. So, Eduk, your race winner, with Big W finishing in second. Both started 5th and 9th on the grid. So, what a start from the pair of them. Adri making an absolute mission of a recovery drive. Well done to him, finishing in P3. Mr. Wuta coming home to finish in P4. Unfortunate for him, the amount of penalties he picked up wasn't exactly the best for him. Aledi finishing in P5. I think that's his best result so far of this season. Ryan B also think this is his best result as well, getting a big decent amount of points for Ferrari in P6. Sendo, the debutee of LOE, good job from him. I accidentally pressed my PlayStation button. It finishes in P7. Frey finishing in 8th, decent amount of points for the Toro Rosso driver. Nico probably disappointed with that result, finishing in P9. Dave coming home to finish in 10th. I think that's his first set of points as well this season. Jasper finishing in 11th, with Smitsky finishing in 12th position, getting the final points. James McCursk, Heated, Ibo, Car Cannon, and Iverbryn Mike missed out on the points. But what a... I've got no words for that Grand Prix. I think that's one of the best D3 races we've seen so far this season. That and Bahrain are definitely the top two.
Yep, I will stand by that. It's
Wow.
that good of a race. We might need to take a break and think about that.
I think we do.
Coming
we
on
might have to take a break.
It is break week next week, isn't it?
It is. So, thank you everyone for watching the stream. Division 1 is currently going on as we speak, commentated once again by James. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, Division 2 will be starting in about 15 minutes time. Probably, I think, commentated by Iverbryn Mike and Ghost Recon. As RJ had said, there is no race next week. It is break week. So that gives us 2 weeks to prepare for probably one of, if not the hardest track on the calendar. It is Monaco. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time for the Monaco Grand Prix.